All right. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Congratulations, first of all, for taking time to really invest in your health. I really, health is the true wealth of our society. And you'll be able, not only with this for yourself, but, everybody that cares about you and everybody, in your extended connections will benefit from a happier, healthier, thriving you. Wanted to give you a little bit about who I am, and then also just really dive into why we do what we do and what it is that we're doing when we're talking about the 11-day resets. I get really passionate, so bear with me. Like it bleeds through sometimes, with where we're headed and what we're doing. We have the clinical results and the research to back everything. So, again, I can't express how excited I am that you are here. Some of you already doing it, some of you taking a look for the first time. My name is Dana String, my master's exercise physiology, and a little picture of my family here. And let me see if I'll hit it slideshow and it goes big. Um, so, mom, wife, what do we call it? Momtrepreneur, and, business owner, health and wellness studios in Hawaii and in Scottsdale. And really, it's been my journey, going from being high end sports performance now into understanding that you cannot separate, the physical and the nutritional, right? As much as you can't separate, like our mind or health or wellness, it's all connected. I had specificity in high-end, athletics and sport performance, but quickly realized that my clients and, the public in general were not going to get the results if they didn't also fix what they were putting in their mouth. And that was huge. And then going down and the rabbit hole of really understanding proper fueling, proper nutrition on a cellular level. And so that's been really exciting in this journey and what we have all developed here with these protocols, with these programs, and with Isogenics leading the charge as the products that support all of this. So that's kind of in a nutshell my story, and how I came to this is really because I want to bring health to the masses. We're facing a pandemic of illness, and the good news is we can do something about it. So it starts here. And I'll kind of dive into it. Some of the freebies, right? I want to give you guys the freebies too, right? Better sleep, right? And we talk about 56% of the population not getting even just enough sleep, right? So fueling our bodies right, fueling our body right starts with making sure that it can metabolize. So sleep, please. um Also, water, right? There's another freebie for you. We're fortunate enough here to be able to have clean drinking water. So, an ounce of water per body weight, per pound of body weight is a really nice kind of meter or measure. And people think, oh, that's a lot. If you're exercising, which, we would always promote, walking, movement, all of that stuff, you know, they say half your body weight in ounces of water minimum. Like I'm 130 pounds. So, I would be, oh my gosh, so I have to do the math, 65 ounces minimum. Okay, 65 ounces, but ideally 130 ounces of water a day. Okay. Make sure you're near a bathroom. um, okay. So where we're at and what we supply as solutions for some of the problems that we see in our current society, right? We're talking better nutrition. Nutrient deficiency is the first thing that we address, right? We're the most overfed and undernourished population as of yet. Life expectancies are now shorter for us than our parents, and that's alarming. And that means that goes the same for our children. If there's any moms on here, if there's any parents on here, that means, the life expectancy of your kids has now gone down. Disease has gone up, increase in stress, increase in inflammation. What we're finding now is that most diseases, Alzheimer's, all sorts of MS, diseases of inflammation, diabetes, right? So these things are reversible and regenerative, so our bodies can regenerate. What we once thought was degenerative and we couldn't come back from, we can now come back from. And this is a solution to that. So I get really passionate and really excited because we can do something, and you are here doing something. So we can decrease inflammation and really get the body energy. The other thing that people are coming out with, and that's a really big buzzword right now, is the gut microbiome, right? Our gut is the key and the link to health and happiness, right? We create a ton of serotonin in our gut. And if our neural pathways aren't connecting from our gut to our brain, and there's a ton of them, then our brain is not getting the serotonin it needs to, to function properly. Really to be the best version of yourself. We always know about the sugar high and the tantrum that kids have. Well, the same thing goes with artificial flavorings, colorings, all of that stuff, the dyes, things that, are banned in other countries, very honestly, are what we give to our kids at birthday parties, what we eat as snacks and treats. So really understanding that you've got $1 million machine, right? So you want to put the proper fuel in that $1 million machine, or it won't even get out of the driveway. And so, really honoring what you already have as a body. Your body's the miracle. We fuel it properly and it lights up like no other. So really, we answer nutrient deficiency by offering nutrient density. And that's what the 11-day program is. We show you what it is to fuel and put the right fuel in the tank before you go out and do anything else, right? 80-20. Do the good stuff for 80% of the time, 20% of the time, do the fun stuff, right? We don't want to be restrictive. Restrictive isn't sustainable. This is not a diet. This turns into understanding, teaching you how to fish instead of just handing you fish on nutrition, and then being able to go out and do it long term. So sustainable solutions. We're talking about the other thing that we address is toxic load and stress. Okay, more than ever, we've seen divisive, we've seen separation, we've seen stress on a level, that's unprecedented. And then toxic load, before maybe it was our air, and pollution and that kind of air quality. But now what we're seeing is that it's everywhere, right? It's in our food, as in the form of preservatives and pesticides, and then it's in our environment. It's also in the products that come daily. I just found out that there's lead in a lot of lipsticks, so there are things that are just coming at us. The estimate, I think, was we are exposed to more toxins in one day than our ancestors had 100 years ago in their entire lifetime, right? So what ends up being of utmost importance is the ability to detox, right? To get it flowing, to get everything so we can detox and drain the toxic load that we're being subject to. Adaptogens is a really big buzzword, and it's something we've completely dissected with the 11-day reset to use them to your advantage so that you can combat the stress, right? Oxidative stress, mental stress. Mental stress is absolutely another creation that puts inflammation into our body. So how do we keep detoxing? How do we keep moving forward and draining so that our body is processing and moving forward optimally? The stress toxins, as well as then even just the stress of what we have in the screen. And we still have the science coming out with that, optically with our eyes, and what we're being subject to, visually with, just a constant overconsumption on computer screens. So there's definitely a lot to address and to be mindful of. And the first thing is creating the awareness, helping with the education. But education too, unfortunately, isn't what's the saying? Kara, you can pop in. It's like if information was, the everything we needed, we'd all have six-pack abs and, and $1 million at the bank. But it's information and action. So it's understanding the slow, small steps done consistently over time that are going to yield the big results. And that's what we do. That's one of the most beautiful things is we take all this information and we put it in packaged bite-sized steps, checklists, all the cool things, one day at a time, so that you can understand how you're getting nutrients, and then you can understand how you're detoxing, toxins. The solutions that we have too, there's also a mental game to it. There's a big, big, big mental game, right? Some of the hurdles on our highways to where we want to go, right? We see where we want to be. And it's like, if we don't have that highway to get there, well, then we're kind of dead in the water. And again, that's the information game. It's like we have the information, but how do we get and translate that into action? We do that because as a group, when we do something collectively, as a pack animal, as we are as humans, and this is why I put out these statistics, is that when we set a goal, okay, 22% easier to achieve goals once we have them articulated and we know what they are, okay? Then you have a plan, and I could hand you a piece of, I could hand you the plan. I could hand you, what we're doing, right? And so now your likelihood of achieving those goals goes up 50%, 52% to be exact. And then with a group, collectively, knowing that somebody else is showing up for you, right? Kara's going to be there for me, tomorrow morning, and showing me, her meal replacement shake. I am 78% more likely to achieve the goals that I've set out for myself when we do it collectively and we do it as a group. So a little bit of the, the psychology behind it. That's why we're finding huge success rates, is because we're cheering people on. We're cheering each other on. When we trip and fall on our face, because there's lots of fall on our faces, there's somebody to take a hand out and say, come on, get back up, let's go. No big deal, really. And what we're showing, and again, as I was mentioning, the clinical research is showing, and as we're going into a world of medicated weight loss too, as well, with people taking the shots, Wegovy, Ozempic, there's semaglutide, GLP-1 agonists, which is the fancy term, but when we're comparing the two, what we're finding is that our efficacy rates, our success rates are higher because you're also staying healthier. You're creating lean muscle mass. We're showing 56% more fat loss, okay, versus lean muscle mass. And let me be really clear, lean muscle mass is also the heart, okay? We do not want to lose lean muscle mass. 2 times as much visceral fat. Visceral fat is the belly fat. Hey, who doesn't want to get rid of some belly fat? Okay. Pop on a bikini. You too, dudes. So, and then better improvements overall in cardiovascular markers. So for me, as exercise physiologist, that means you can run faster, harder, quicker, all the fun things. So athletic ability, your ability to get up and go, right? Even if it's just to get up and go for a walk. That simple. It's that simple. And that's versus the heart healthy diet and versus medicated weight loss solutions that are out there right now. Now, can do in conjunction with, there's all sorts of things. You can do it as well, right? I don't want to be like, you can't do that. You can do this in addition to, right? This gets to be an add-on, not an exception. Okay. So just keeping that in mind. Results. So I want, and I put this on here, the top left in the black, that's me. And I want you to take a look at my belly. That's inflammation. That's inflammation. Okay, I can't even say that enough. Like I could probably say that 10 more times. Below, this is my husband. And you can see too, inflammation in his face on one side. And you can see where now that inflammation is gone. That's huge. Kara, your husband, right? You can see where, the visceral fat, the belly, right? And then the tone, right? The body responds. It's just a beautiful thing. And this is a physician's assistant. She's a PA up, I think, Pacific Northwest or California. And you can see again, now some of this is subtle, right? You might look at her and say, she doesn't need to lose weight, right? But she lost inflammation. And that's preventative disease control, right? So what are some of the simple steps? Okay. Simple steps, right? We've got group coaching. We've got advice, motivation. And let me give you just the one quick mind trick that I love to give everybody just to have in your back pocket. Okay. I talked about the $1 million machine. Let's just say you spent $300,000 on a McLaren. If you don't know what it is, go look it up. It's a really expensive, silly car. I don't know why people buy them, but if you had a McLaren sitting in your driveway, would you put donuts and bagels in the gas can and expect it to get down the street? Right? It would die on you. And that's the analogy I want to use here is like you have your body is a McLaren. Pick your color. It's a beautiful machine. It does everything it can to keep you going, to get you up, to get you motivated, to get you happy, to keep you alive, right? So what you want to be doing is putting the proper fuel in the machine. And the good news is it doesn't taste like dog food. Okay. We did a lot of stuff to make sure that you are enjoying your fuel and it's lighting you up. Right. So that's part of the advice and the motivation that we do, the little tips and the tricks that you can have when your mind wants to go back to, the older habits, right? Again, the habits are those hurdles on our highway to where we want to go, right? Everything you need shipped straight to your door. And then we got checklists. Did you get all your things, right? And then we have videos. Here's how you unbox. Here's how you look at everything. And then we have incredible coaches, right? And then we have, all of the items that are laid out. Oh, I didn't even know it did that. And the ingredient lists. And and the other part of it is you don't need to know everything, and our coaches don't necessarily know everything, but all the information is available rather quickly, right? So if we don't have an answer for you, it's something that is accessible somewhere on our team, right? We've got the most incredible team of humans that are backing this. So really finding the information is rather simply, especially with isogenics. You can always go to isogenicshealth.net and do some of that fun research on yourself. Also, the more you read about what good you're doing for your body, the easier it is to catch momentum to make that next better choice. Okay. These are, the products, the botanical energy adaptogen drink, right? The cleanest. My kids drink this stuff. So I feel really good about this. The Cleanse for Life, adaptogenic, huge, just huge in the department of clean ingredients, the cleanest I have found and I have seen. And I used to private label myself, and I like these products better than my own products were. We have protein pacing days, and then we have cleanse days. And, these are some of the simple facts and, like what's in the cleanse. Why is it helping us with detox and drainage? You'll see, ingredients, peppermint, turmeric, aloe, ashwagandha, berries, licorice root. So those are on our cleanse days, or what we would consider intermittent fasting days. And again, so laying out the 11 days, and I'll kind of give you a little bit of the lay of the land, is we have what would be considered shake days. And I don't want those to be confused with like NutriFast or something, those types of shakes, because these have prebiotics and probiotics, good for the gut microbiome, good for the brain, right? They're entire meal replacement, complete meal replacement shakes, okay? So it is the proper fuel. And we do meal replacement shake, and then a meal, okay? And then we give you menus, but also do not be restrictive. Okay, because if you start to change too many things all at once, right, you're more likely to give up. So, having a meal, and then we give you options. And then we'll do that for a couple of days, flood the body with nutrients, and then we go into those heavier intermittent fasting cleanse days, okay, where we're drinking this cleanse drink with adaptogens and detoxification, and we're having minimal food, right, to allow the body to do its job in cleaning, okay, cellular level cleaning, okay. We hold toxins in our fat, in our gut, and really they can be there for decades. It's frightening. But the other cool thing is we do have videos that we can share with you along the way on the 11 day that show you exactly what happens through those 11-day cycle and what's going on. You're going to hear a motorcycle coming. um, okay, there we go. Windows are open. Weather's amazing. So, really being able to understand, that we are clearing out, cleaning out, even, extra adipose or fat, toxins, right? And there's a lot stored in our fat. And so just really clearing it out. It's not a kidney cleanse. It's not a colon cleanse. So when I say, go to the bathroom, it's because you're drinking lots of good water, right? But you're not having to worry about, like finding a bathroom immediately. Not that at all. Okay. I've actually taught yoga classes during my cleanse days. So just depending on, your functionability, where you're at, what you're doing, don't have to worry about that issue. The protein, like I was saying, here's a little bit on, on our protein products. The one that we're choosing is a whole food plant-based or whey-based, and the whey is also sourced from New Zealand. So the cleanest, right? They don't pasteurize the milk because it's that clean, right? So when you add water to our whey base, it's a live substance, live enzymes working in your body. It's amazing. We also have a thermogen, right? It's called the natural accelerator, and you can see, and I have to put my glasses on to read some of this stuff to you, but the cayenne, the green tea, the apple cider vinegar, cinnamon bark. There's also pepper, and other, thermogenic or basically heat creating, fat burning properties that, give you that sustainable energy. The other thing that's really cool is we're reducing your appetite, okay, by helping your appetite hormones like find homeostasis. Homeostasis means like find its happy place, right? So your body gets to come back. Really, our appetite hormones, when our hormones are out of whack, when we have inflammation, our appetite's just like this. And you know this with stress, right? One day you're stressed and you're like, you're like grabbing for all the wrong things. You're high sugar, you're high carbs, right? This puts our appetite hormones back into place. And then you don't crave all this crazy stuff. Okay, so it's a beautiful roll of momentum in the right direction. This is an extra, I wanted to, talk about the marine collagen elixir, but I think too, I wanted Mandy to come on for just a moment. And you don't have to come on video, but I just want you to say, how many days in are you and what's your weight loss?
Yes, I am 6 days in and I lost 6 pounds.
And I want to say, first of all, congratulations. That's amazing. Um, and also, I want to say that in this program, we consider weight loss a side effect of good health. We're not necessarily in it to lose weight. Some people come to it to lose weight. They're like, I can't get rid of the sticky pounds. But we look at it as a sign of good health. We have gotten the body into homeostasis. We have flooded the body with nutrients, and now it's reacting. It's like, oh, yeah, I don't need all that fat. And it's getting rid of it. So that's really a cool part of the detox and drainage. And that's why, weight loss becomes a symptom of doing all the good things. The one thing I was talking about with the collagen, one thing I love about the collagen, that can be an add-on, that can be something that you introduce after your 11 days, is because it also helps with the gut. If you know anything about marine collagen, it's a type 1, and it helps with the lining of your gut and digestion. So it's something that can help with sustainability as you move on, as well as joints, tendons, ligaments, hair, skin, and nails, all the pretty things. So it definitely makes you glow. And that's one of the things we do as well. Your skin glowing is a reflection of good health. So what I wanted to let you know is what the next steps would be, right? We have a product enrollment form, right? And I can send that link, or Cara or whoever brought you here can send you a link so that you can get that all ordered. Start yesterday. And then you definitely reach out if you have any other questions, right? We can schedule one-on-one, wellness consultations just to really give you that like 5-star service so that you can get to where you want to go. And then basically from there, you get the stuff delivered to your door. You'll have all the information. If you have any questions, obviously get answered. And then, we have self-paced, or you start the group coaching. And I would say, if you're kind of like that one person that needs a little motivation, do the group or be a fly on the wall in the group and just watch and see. You don't necessarily always need to, participate, but, allow it to feed into your mind and your brain and your body. So I wanted to say thank you. I'm going to stop the recording and then open it up for questions. I think I'm going to stop the recording. We'll see what happens.